Shalom, I'm gonna make this super quick. If there was a song, and I'm sure that there's many other songs that, well, let me just stay with this. If there was a song written for Deuteronomy 28, it would be Marvin Gaye, Inner City Blues, also known as Make Me Wanna Holler. And this is from Vivo. This is 3 minutes, 8 seconds in a 5-minute, 31-second video. And you see these cops. These are actors, I believe. They gotta be actors. You know, it was this individual here, which is a police officer, and then there was another Edomite police officer behind them. And they, matter of fact, let me jump to it to show you. Okay, so you can see that there's two policemen, and they, let me jump up. Okay, right here, you see him. He's being harassed. By the way, if you go into the history of the police stem from the patty rollers. The patty rollers. Let me put that in, see what happens. Patty rollers. Let's see what comes up. Okay, let me see here. Boom! The patty rollers have returned, but did they ever really leave? Patty rollers or slave patrol, your city police stem from the patty rollers in slavery of Jake. Patty roller, I didn't think this was gonna come up this quick. Patty roller or slave patrol were the names given to terms of men who worked to maintain the wealth of the Southern elite. So your police, your city police, are corporate police. They're established and set up by the corporate cities. Every city is every city, town, village, township is a corporation. That's why when they pull you over and give you a ticket, when a patty roller or a police officer give you a ticket, it's a mini lawsuit. They bring charges against you for violating an ordinance or a not even a law, because they work on the color of law. Yeah, it's my law experience coming back at me. Let me tell you something, man. I've been to the court many times and dealt with the judges and the prosecuting attorneys in different cases, all right? There was a brother, good friend of mine. He was involved in a situation that I was in, but they grabbed up as many as they could get. They didn't get me because I was fleet of foot, but they got him and some others, and they found out he had a legal firearm. And what they did was, because he was arrested for this thing, they took his firearm. When he came to me, oh, you got to get my fire. I know you in the law. I didn't feel like dealing with it, but then I looked at the guys. He kept bothering me, and I looked at it, and I said, oh, this is easy. I put together a quick brief or a response to a order to show cause, and it was only 1 page long. It was 2 pages long. 1 page was the information. The other page was a verification. His name written under a witness, which is a see, I haven't been in law so long, I forget all these things. Written by a notary public, all right? And I used to go to one lady, Mrs. Robinson. I don't know if she's still living. She probably is, I believe she is. But she always used to do my, if I would go into court, I would have her do the, she would be my notary, but she wouldn't charge me a dime, and she wouldn't take no money either. You know, so and I believe I gave her a gift one day. I said, this is for you, you know, for your services. Anyway, it says Patty Roller or Slave Patrol were the names given to teams of men who worked to maintain the wealth of the Southern elite. So that whole police concept came from the South. When you had a slave that ran away, and here's a picture of it. When you have a slave that run away, you get these guys that come out and look for the slave, and they would arrest the slave and they bring them back to the plantation. That's the same thing that these police do today. Oh, wow. Anyway, the original upload. Anyway, it says in the 9th, see this, I'm watching this video, Inner City Blues, and blues and music. You had jazz, you had ragtime, you had blues. Blues was you would curse. Most blues songs is about a dude that's singing about his woman left him for another man, or his woman left him because he lost his job. That's what the blues is all about. So Marvin Gaye sung this song and called it Inner City Blues. Blues meaning curse to us. It means something else. You might ask the Edomite, what does blues mean to you? Oh, blue is my favorite color. When my 5th birthday, I got 5 blue balloons. That's what. But blues is a code word for curses. So watch the video. If I remember, I'll put the Inner City Blues, make you want to holler video, and I'm watching it. And you know, all praises to Yahweh Shemal Shai B'Shem Rakak Wadash. It says in the 19th century, 1801 to 1899, patty rollers already existed. But with the advent of the growing slave population, they truly came into being. So their job was essential because you had a lot of slaves. And when slaves, you know, got the rabbit in their blood, that's from Cool Hand Luke. That's another great, great, great movie. When you get the rabbit in your blood, that means you want to run away. So the same thing with these police. Their purposes were noble, some thought. Yeah, like the police. I want to be when I'm a kid. I'm 5 years old. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a police officer so I can help people. You know, let's fast forward 15, 20 years later, you cracking motherfuckers over the head. You stealing these motherfucking drugs to do for yourself. You doing all kind of wickedness. And that's not to say that all police are bad. There's decent police out there, man. Can you believe this? They wanted me to be a Edomite. A couple of Edomite cops said, you should be a policeman, man. One guy said, if you be a policeman, this guy was a sergeant. He said, if you go for the test, man, I'm going to make sure you get in. They wanted me to be a cop. Can you imagine me being a cop? I'll either be the nicest cop in the world or the crookedest cop in the world. It says they were to protect the white. I have to emphasize the white. And I guarantee you, I got a little Yayan up in me. I guarantee you, Apostle Gabar going to do a backup on this. Maybe some of you others. Let me read that again. They were to protect the white race. Wait a minute. Let me come back here. Their purpose were noble, some thought. Man, they beat the shit out of the slaves. They might cut a fucking hand off. If he had something on him that they liked, they took that shit. It says they were to protect the white race, which are Edomites, from the possible uprising of sneaky. Oh, 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 oh! I gotta take me another drink. Sometimes having spirits in you, which is liquor, will put the spirit on you, man. Let me read that again. I'm loving this, man. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem B'Kakwadash. And all honors to all you men out there that is on the highways and byways doing this wake. Let me read this again. This is beautiful. It says, their purpose was noble, some thought. They were to protect the white race from the possible uprising. So this is why the Paddy Roaders were really set up. They would catch runaway slaves, but the main thing was it was to protect against the white race from slaves taking their plantation and killing them. And you had some slave revolts. As a matter of fact, I don't want to make this long, but you know, a history of slave rebellions. Wow. It's a history of slavery in Cuba, 1511 to 1868. Wow. Let me see, a history of slave rebellions. So let's see where that takes us. Rebellion means to be back to war. Okay, I got to read this, man. That's why, this is why, if you ever question, why do the Haitians catch so much fucking hell, man? Well, this is the reason why. Esau said, we're going to keep these motherfuckers down. That's why they don't let Levi come up into the, they let Cubans and Dominicans and all other tribes come up in there. They said, not them Haitians, man. Them Haitians got rebellion in their blood. They'll take this whole country. Them Levites, man. Them Levites, man. Hey, like I gotta use the example of super invincible chief Grand Poobah Al-Azhar, you know, because he has a rebellious spirit in him, man. It's just flowing through his brain, his veins, excuse me. You know, he loves to start shit, you know. Anyway, it says the most successful slave rebellion in history, number one when it comes to rebellions was the 18th century Haitian Revolution, led by Toussaint. And by the way, that's one of my names for, if you didn't notice, one of my names, when I run into Levites, I tell them that my name is Toussaint. And when I say Toussaint, they, Toussaint L'Ouverture, and later Jean Jacques, I think that means Jesus. Dessalines. Oh yeah, that was a bad motherfucker. Dessalines was a bad motherfucker. Actually, let me do this. Let me, how I'm going to do this. How am I going to do this? Let me see here. Okay, I can come back to this. Okay, this, okay, this right here, buck breaking, is actually on, I wanted to make this video like 3 minutes long if, at most, and it's kind of going in. Anyway, this is buck breaking by Tariq Nasheed, and I listened to that. I listened to all my man's videos, man. If you didn't know, I go to sleep listening to this man's videos. Matter of fact, I listened to one of the last video he did and going to sleep to it, man. You know, and with this, hey, this brother, his brother right here, hey, he be putting up some high powered stuff. His shows be cracking me up, man. Yeah, he'll bring you truth. You know, he'll give you tons of information. You know, he doesn't say that he's an Israelite, but he is an Israelite, absolutely. But he give you tons of information, but he give you the comedic hook to it. Yeah, he'll give you information and come with a joke on it and have you cracking up. Anyway, he did a video called Buck Breaking. What was the other ones he did? He did a couple on the Haitian Revolution. So, you know, you can go to you can't put this on YouTube. I don't think they're gonna let them put it up on YouTube. It's too straightforward. But you can go to Odyssey, which I have an account, and you can go to Tariq Nasheed. You can see it right there. Oh yeah, he's an Israelite, and he's an Israelite indeed. He's a real Israelite, but I don't think he knows he's an Israelite or accepts it. But he may see it and accept it. Tariq Nasheed, and go to Buck Breaking, and they give you the whole video, which is 2 hours long. So let me come back. Now I'm all over the place. Anyway, it says the most successful slave rebellion in history was the 18th century Haitian Revolution. One day I'll do a video on that, go into the details. Led by Toussaint L'Ouverture, which that's my name. So Alazar, you better show some respect, man. You know, I got my bloodline goes back to Toussaint L'Ouverture, and and later Jean Jacques Dessalines, and that motherfucker was a beast in damn self, who won the war against their French Edomite colony rulers. So these were slaves that was under the French rulership. And they said, fuck this. We ain't being in slavery anymore. So they said, we're gonna bring a rebellion. And that rebellion, man, Levi are priests. They're not warriors. The warrior tribes was Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. Levi were priests, but that show you how bad we were, man. Israel couldn't get to that during the time of Moses' era. They couldn't get to that cattle, man, because they were bringing the cattle into the wilderness to go into the promised land. And Jake wanted to get to that cattle, but nope. Levi was there with them swords. They said, come and try to get some of this, try to get a fucking lamb chop. We're going to chop your motherfucking, we're going to make you lamb chops. Anyway, it says French colony rulers. That's why to this day, the tribe that's catching the most, Jake's talking about you catching hell. You ain't catching no motherfucking hell. You can go home. Your girl gonna cook you something or order something from the goop down the street, and you got cable TV. You got a roof over your motherfucking head. Yo, Levi, they be catching hell. but they're built. They're the grunts of Israel too. It says Dessalines, who won the war against, and go back to give me a second. Go back to damn, what the hell happened? Yeah, go back to Buck Breaking on Odyssey, Buck Breaking on Odyssey, and that's Tariq Nasheed, and then watch his other videos. Very, very good. Damn, man, what's the fucking? Give me a second. Let me do this. Let me do this here. Let me do this right here. I'll give you some of his other videos. Okay, let me see here. Let me go to. Okay, this is only content? God damn, what's going on? There should be more content, but he put it on Odyssey. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this here. Damn, what the hell? All right, this is it. Damn, I thought he put more videos on this. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. That Yayan. Okay, it says here a critical element of white male masculinity is the ability to readily have gay sex, because we know that Esau is nothing but a mole by nature. So part of that curse was you getting bent over. Colonialism, slavery, and all. And that's, we're not gonna do that to this motherfucker in the kingdom. We're gonna fuck him up in the kingdom. And all that shit are all about gay sex. Trust me, I have watched thousands of videos on the topic. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go. We're gonna give a shout out to what the hell is someone come up? Bear me for a minute. But let me try it one more time. What the hell's going on? You know, I'm gonna type it in. Tariq. Tariq Nasheed. I'll hook him up with a Hebrew name. Okay, not Tariq Nasheed. I just want to give you a list of his videos, which are great videos. Let me do this. But watch the buck breaking video. That'll get you mad. Okay, let me see something. I'm trying to get let me do this. DVDs. Oh, let me do movies. DVD movies. Here we go. Oh, he put a lot of movies out. Buck Breaking, that's his latest. Hidden Colors 2, Hidden Colors 1804, which I believe that's on YouTube. And somebody had purchased the DVD for me and gave me a copy of it. I got it somewhere around here. 1804, The Hidden, let me see something. 1804, The Hidden History of Haiti. I don't know if this brother's a Levite because he does a lot on the Haitians. Let me see something. Okay, he was born in Detroit. Let me do this. Let me do this. What nationality is Tariq Nasheed? Okay, Wikipedia. Let's go to that. Wikipedia. Okay, it doesn't say. I hope I'm not boring people out there. Let me put it in this way. It's Tariq Nasheed, Haitian. It doesn't say. Well, I don't think he is because he's FBA regarding his ethnicity and nationality. Tariq Nasheed is an African American. Following his completion of high school, the dynamic speaker obtained his degree from Yale University. United. Well, he went all the way to Yale. That's a smart Negro right there. I hope he wasn't initiated. Anyway, that's a little history on him because I covered the buck breaking thing. So let me come back here. See this, the look in the Yayan get you long-winded. It says the most successful slave rebellion in history was the 18th century Haitian Revolution. And I'm gonna do more study on that, led by Toussaint Louverture, and later, Jean Jacques Dessalines, and I heard about him, and that's spoken of in the 1804 movie. Take another swig of this Yayan. It's good Yayan, expensive Yayan. You know, brothers buy it for me. I'll sit there, shit, I might be in the tribe of Judah. Man, I'll sit there and get a big bottle of wine and wind up drinking the whole thing. It says, who won the war against their French colonial rulers, which established the modern independent state of Haiti from the former French colony of Saint Dominique, whatever. Let me, that's Yayan speaking. Let me go here. Yeah, but watch the brother. He goes in. Okay, I want to find out exactly where Saint Dominica is, which I have an idea, but I want to back it up. It's a Santa Dominica. Santa Dominica was a French colony from 1659. When you see the word colony, it means they enslaved the people of that land. They enslaved the natives. That's what that means. That's code for they enslaved the natives. So Esau, you got a lot to pay for. From 1659 to 1804 on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola. Now, Hispaniola is an island. Half of the island is so-called Haitian. The other half is Dominicans. The Dominicans hate the Haitians because the Dominicans the French took over the Haitians, right? They rebelled. The Dominicans were colonized by the Spaniards. So these motherfuckers always, they always identify themselves with the Spaniards. That's why they, you know, man, I'm gonna do a video on this. You go to pass by any Dominican beauty shop, and on one side they'll show you a Dominican man that look like a Dominican with a haircut, but on the other side is always a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. So what are they telling Dominican women? If you come to this shop, we will turn you into a white woman. We'll give you blonde hair, blue eyes. There's one chick I always run into. I ran into her yesterday. Guess she got feeling young. She's younger than me. I ain't gonna deal with her. She's younger than me. But she, how you doing? She always very pretty woman, very dark skinned, but gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And every once in a while I'll see her with blue contact lenses, right? But I haven't seen her with the blue contact lenses as of yet, as of recently. And I said, well, I told myself the next time I see her, I'm going to tell her, I like those contact lenses, but you look prettier with your natural eyes. But that's in her spirit. She wants to be a white woman, and she's a gorgeous, dark-skinned. You know, if I was like 30 years younger, I would jump on her in a heartbeat. You know. Anyway, it says the island that now hosts two countries, the Dominican Republic, or they call it the DR, and Haiti. Even this guy, the manager from this mechanic shop, he told me a story. How did that story go? That I forget how the fucking story went, but they took this woman or man, and they're gonna take him back to Haiti. And he started speaking Spanish. He said, I'm Dominican. He didn't want to go to Haiti because of the hell that's put on Haiti. And by the way, the word Haiti, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that goes back to the Greek word for hell. It's written a little different, you know? And like I said, you know, you go into the history, and I'm going to go more into the history, man, of and Al-Azhar, you should do more videos on the history of Haiti as it relates to the scriptures, because they were the ones that had that rebellion. Let me come back. So we know that Santa Domingue, whatever, however you say it, is Hispaniola, named after the Spaniards. Okay, it says 7 famous slave revolts. So we're going into history. And let me throw a couple of quote or scriptures at you. Isaiah 14:2, Jeremiah 30, verse 16, Exodus 21, verse 16, Revelation 13, 9, and 10, just to name a few. And they took those quotes out of the slave Bible. It says 7 famous slave revolts. Find out about 7 groups of enslaved people who risked everything for a chance at freedom. Okay, Spartacus, which, by the way, Spartacus is a Jake. And the Third Civil War. And this was in 73 AD. Spartacus, I'm not going to go all into it. Spartacus, which he actually existed, and he was a gladiator, which was a slave, which was a Jake. They got other Jakes, slaves, to fight against the Roman Empire. Ultimately, he fell. But why? Because the Most High was with the Roman Empire at the time to fulfill prophecy. Nat Turner's rebellion. there's a movie out called Birth of a Nation. The second movie, Birth of a Nation. I saw the movie along with the Apostle Gabar, Apostle Elder Manatazak. Did Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ryan Lob, Elder Manatazak. I don't know if Apostle Ricard came. I believe he did. He could have been out of town, but I believe he did. And if I find a video, I'll put it up. That was around the same period. That was in November. I believe that was 2016. That was the same time period where Nate discovered that the new moon is a full moon, which he's clearly off on. Anyway, it says Nat Turner's rebellion. Nat Turner being a Jacob Israelite. One of the most famous slave revolts in American history came in 1831 when Nat Turner led a bloody uprising in Southampton County, Virginia. Turner was deeply religious, meaning he was into the scriptures, and planned. And the brother, what's the brother's name? The actor that put that movie together, he definitely watches the One West's videos because the scriptures that he brought out in the movie was scriptures that we teach all the time. And planned his rebellion after he experienced prophetic visions ordering him to gain his freedom by force. I don't know if that was the Most High or Satan, but it had to be the Most High. On August 21, 1831, Turner and his accomplices killed his master's family as they lay sleeping. Now you gotta be a serious motherfucker if you're gonna kill your master. From there, the small band of about 70 slaves moved from house to house, eventually killing over 50 white Edomites with clubs. Oh, so that was a terrible death. You're getting clubbed to death like a motherfucking seal. Knives, as our High Priest Ariel would say, you got to use a sword because it's spiritual. You feel it. And musket, they were shooting motherfuckers. It took a military force. It took the military. So the patty rollers couldn't deal with it. They had to get the military. They had to get the boys in Company C. Military force to put down the rebellion, and Turner and 55 other slaves were captured and later executed by the state. It says hysteria swept through the region in the aftermath of the Nat Turner revolt, and as many as 200 slaves were eventually killed by white mobs and militia, because Esau said, we're gonna kill these niggas. The rebellion. So you Edomites, you have a lot to pay for. And don't be listening to that bubblehead Elder Ricard about Edomites are gonna be, ain't no Edomites, all Edomites are going into captivity. The rebellion also triggered a series of restrictions on slave populations, citing Turner's intelligence as a major factor in his revolt. Several states would pass laws making it illegal to teach blacks to read and or write, because reading is fundamental. They killed you if you read the scriptures because they knew that was our book. the Zanj rebellion, long before African slaves were ever brought to North America, they incited a rebellion in the Middle East and went head to head with an empire. The insurrection began in 869 AD, and Zenji slaves, an Arabic term used to describe East Africans, that Jake joined with an Arab revolutionary named Ali bin Muhammad and rose up against the Abbasid Caliphate. I ain't gonna read no more about that. The Haitian Revolution, 1733, St. John insurrection. Let's read on that. One of the earliest, see, our revolution now is a spiritual one. You know, if you're an Israelite and you're going, I'm going to kill a cracker and I'm going to shoot it, the Lord ain't dealing with you. You're not a prophet. You're not working with the Spirit of the Most High. Point blank, period. The 1733 St. John insurrection, one of the earliest slave revolts in North America, saw a group of African slaves, Israelites, effectively conquer the Danish-owned Isles of St. John. So every once in a while, Jake get tired of your shit and they rise up and cold kill your motherfucking ass. Malachi 5 verse 7 on down. And that's going to happen over here in this place. We're in the last legs of this empire. At the time, most of St. John's slaves were part of the Akan, an African people from modern day Ghana, which are Israelites. ISUPK. No, you a Hamite. You can't get a piece of chicken at the cookout. The dude that you had the argument with, the dialogue with, Captain Tazariak, that dude was a Jake, man. He from fucking Ghana. I run into Ghana, people of Ghana all the time. They ain't nothing but Negroes, man. They ain't nothing but Jake. Plagued by widespread illness, drought, and harsh slave codes, in November 1733, this was in Africa, a group of high-ranking Akans began to plot against the Danish Edomite masters. And this is getting ready to happen in a big way. The rebellion began when a group of slaves used smuggled weapons to kill several Danish soldiers, Edomite soldiers, inside a fort at a plantation called Coral Bay. Another 150 conspirators soon converged on the island's other plantations. So they said, we killed these motherfuckers, let's go to the next plantation. And there was a story a couple of years ago about South Africans going on plantations and farms of Edomites and just killing them and taking their land. And the reason why they do that, because the South Africans are Jake too. Killing several white or Edomite colonists. What does the word colonist mean? It's a nice way of saying slave masters, and eventually seizing command of most of St. John. The slaves plan to claim the island and its valuable farmland as their own, but the plowman shall overtake the reaper. What is that? Amos 9. But their freedom was ultimately short-lived after only 6 months of Akan rule. In May 1734, several hundred French troops, there goes the French, which helped the Danes, because they were Edomites. Edomites are going to help Edomites, other Edomites, arrived and violently put down the rebellion. It was not until 1848 that slaves was finally abolished. Slavery was finally abolished in the Danish West Indies. And why did they ultimately abolish slavery? Because if you didn't abolish slavery, Jake got tired of being fucking slaves. And they were going to do something, man. You got a lot of Jakes in the military. You got a lot of Jakes in high positions. You got a lot of Jake billionaires and millionaires. And a lot of these so quote unquote Uncle Toms, as we call them, a lot of them really hate Esau, man. They don't want to have nothing to do with Esau. A lot of these jakes are getting Jake women. They're getting the so-called Latin tribes women. A lot of them ain't really into Edomites like they used to be. Let me read this one. I'm going to close. I got a little long-winded. Oh, yeah, this is good. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this devil. That's why this devil got to go. Because he likes being a Mo. That's another African rebellion, the Gaspar Yagna's rebellion. Wow, that was back in 1570. You know what, let me read this one. Known as the first liberator of the Americas, Gaspar Anga was an African slave who spent 4 decades establishing a free settlement in Mexico. That show you that Jake was already in Mexico. But let's come back over here. Okay, this is called the Baptist War. While it started as a peaceful protest, Jamaica's Baptist War ended with a bloody uprising and the death of over 600 slaves, inspired by the abolitionist movement in Great Britain on Christmas Day, 1831. That's when everybody's supposed to be calmed down and joyous. As many as 60,000 of the Jamaicans, 300,000 slaves went on a general strike under the direction of a Baptist preacher, and slave named Samuel Sharp. So even these Uncle Tom ass preachers get upset at these devils, man. The bondsmen vowed not to return to work until they were awarded basic freedoms and a living wage. That's what's happening now, man. Malachi 5, verse 7 on down. And I'll probably close with that. When rumors spread that that British colonists planned to break the strike by force, the protest turned into an outright rebellion and what became the largest slave uprising in the history of the British West Indies. The slaves burnt and looted plantations owned by white people, Edomites, for several days, eventually causing 1.1 million. That's got to be up in the billions when you adjust for inflation and property damage. The human toll was much more severe. By the time the British colonial army mobilized and put down a revolt, as many as 300 slaves and 14 white people, Edomites, had been killed. And a white man in his kingdom is pressing. You kill one white man, it's like killing 1,000 Negroes or 1,000,000 Negroes. Because of white privilege. 300 more slaves, including the ringleader, Sharp, which is a Baptist preacher, were later hanged for their involvement in the uprising. While it may have been unsuccessful, the effects of the Baptist War was eventually felt all the way across the Atlantic. Only 1 year later, the British Parliament, they had to go all the way to motherfucking the land of the Britons, would once and for all abolish slavery in the British Empire. Now, the reason why, they don't tell you that in history, but the reason why they abolished slavery all over the place, not because, you know what, we were wrong for years and we're going to abolish slavery and we're going to free you, we're going to emancipate you. No, the reason why they did it because Jake got fucking tired of slavery, man. And this is that same spirit that's on us right now. But we here at Israelites, all we got to do is speak the word, go to the scriptures, not get involved in this. But anyway, I'm going to close on this. And all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash for making me a human being. Inside joke. Let's close on Micah 5. And there's a bunch of precepts that's in my brain. Micah 5 and 7. And this is a future prophecy that's getting ready to happen. Jacob's gonna rain on you Edomites, man. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of man. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, other nations, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he goeth through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Thy hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thy enemies shall be cut off, meaning killed. So you, nigga, Elder Ricard, you teaching that bullshit, that fucking bullshit about Edomites can make it. All Edomites are gonna be slaughtered, man. And the ones that remain will be cast into captivity. It says adversaries, upon thine adversary. Let's see what that means. Adversary. Tazar.
Strong's H, 1662.
I'm gonna listen to it, I can read it. Narrow, tight, straight, distress, adversary, foe, enemy, oppressor, Isaiah 14, verse 2, hard pebble, flint. Let's go to the word enemies. Our enemies are not going to make it in the kingdom. Ain't no 5 Edomites going to deny their father and choose Christ. The word there is ayab. Enemy, personnel, national. Your national enemy. It says enemy, Genesis 22:17. Enemy, Genesis 49:8. It says, Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, Edomites. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Meaning Judah is the head tribe. Mashal was a Judite. Ariel was a Judite. Yaakov was a Judite. And Abba was a Judite. So let's come back. Let's come back here. Micah 5:9. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thy adversaries, and all thy enemies shall be cut off. And it shall come to pass in that day, which is getting ready to come to pass, saith Yahweh, that I will cut off the horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots, Esau's power. And I will cut off the cities of thy land and throw down all thy strongholds. So this place is crumbling. 12 verse, and I will cut off witchcraft, because your power is based upon the left-hand side, the side of Satan, out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no soothsayers, because everything they do, they go and consult with warlocks, witches, the Council of 13. Go to YouTube and put in John Todd and listen to his lectures about, he was a part of that, the Council of 13, the Illuminati. 13, thy graven images also will I cut off, and standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hand. That's talking about Esau. And I will pluck up thy groves, that's these churches, out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, the other nations, such as they have not heard. time of Jacob's trouble. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Please forgive me for going long, but that's how it go. Spirit jump on you.